Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith as we continue our 2023 NFL Draft Prospect Series. We got the third interview of this series, and I bring to you today, this guy is a stud. I mean, if you see Dwight Freeney on the field and then you watch Bob JONJO Jr.'s tape, you really can't notice the difference, you know, except maybe like 10, 15 pounds. But ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Bob JONJO Jr., 2023 NFL Draft Prospect. Bob, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Grateful, man. Thank you for having me on the show, man. Very grateful to be on here. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm grateful to be in your presence, man. Dude, your tape does not lie. So I'm going to post this on the screen, his highlights. Look how fast he is. Look how he gets to the quarterback. He leaves quarterbacks insecure like a 12-year-old who hit puberty. Like he has these guys shook. Let me ask you, Bob, you know, you are an amazing talent. You currently play for Glenville State, it is, right? 4 different bowl games currently as it is. But let's take your story all the way back from the beginning. When did you fall in love with the game of football?
So, like, I fell in love with the game around, like, young age, like, probably, like, 5, 6 years old. But I didn't start playing organized football until the 8th grade, believe it or not. So I was kind of like a late bloomer with football, honestly. I was more playing basketball. I always would play football, like, in the backyard, though, with my friends and stuff. And they always would tell me, like, yeah, like, you're good. You should come out and come play. It just took me a while to actually start playing until the 8th grade. So I've always loved the game, though. Always loved it. And when I started playing organized football, I really fell in love with the game from there.
Awesome. Now, you're from Maryland originally, right?
Yes, I'm from Germantown, Maryland, in Montgomery County.
Ooh, man. I keep hearing the stories about the players from the DMV area, for those who don't know, DC, Maryland, Virginia, who are from that area. What was the talent like competing growing up?
Oh, yeah, the talent level is, like, unbelievable. Like, we have some of the greatest players in the country. Like, we got players all over the place. I done played against the best players and played with the best players. Like, I got my boy Marcus Sims, played for the West Virginia. He's in the USFL right now. He was in the NFL. He's an extreme talent. Like, there's all types of players that have been around. Jake Funk, he was on the Rams right now. He's I think he's on the Saints practice squad. Like, there's players like that are out here. There's a bunch of other slept-on players that are on the rise too, all over the country.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a competitive. That's like mini Florida. That little area is like mini Florida. Like there's so much talent in that concentrated area. That being said, how did you? Because you were playing at Morgan State at one point. How did you find your way over to Glenville College?
So I'm gonna take it all the back from high school. So high school, I wasn't a qualifier. I had a bunch of Division I's recruiting me and stuff like that, but I wasn't a qualifier. Unfortunately, my grades weren't as good. So I had to take the junior college route. I had to go to Lackawanna College in Pennsylvania, Scranton, Pennsylvania. And I had to do there for like 2.5 years. So like 2 years in a semester. From there on, I was able to receive a Division I scholarship from Morgan State University. So I was at Morgan State, played there the 2019 season. And then after that, 2020 was COVID. And I decided since we had to sit out, I decided to hit the portal and to give myself a better, opportunity to showcase my talent. And when I did that, I didn't realize that I had to graduate first. So I had to graduate, go back, get my degree, and then sit out 2021. So then 2022 came, and I had transferred to Glenville State. And that's how I got to Glenville State and able to play my last year.
Love everything that I see out there, man. You deflect the balls in the quarterback's face. If you don't mind me asking, what's your 40 time?
I believe I can run 4.5. That's what I'm trying. 4.5. Yep.
That is excellent. And then you not only play defensive end, you can play outside linebacker. You're very athletic, and you have really perfected the position, which is going to be really exciting. Now, you've been invited to a few different bowl games. What kind of bowl games are these? And kind of explain to me the process of which ones you're going to be going to.
Yeah. So majority of these bowl games are like all-star games, so really just showcase my talent against other collegiate athletes in the country, and basically just showing the scouts what we can do, especially in the game. And even some of them, I believe, have like combine drills where you can even run 40s and do other things too as well. So it's just basically like a showcase to really just showcase my ability and talents, and also just to get in front of scouts to see them eye to eye. And I believe as of now, I'm definitely going to go to the CGS Small Showcase in Fort Texas. I'm definitely going to go there. And then I probably will play in the Dream Bowl later on in January as well. that's in Texas as well. So I'd probably play in those two out of all of them. And then from then on, just trying to pro day train and combine train.
All right. So NFL scouts, you guys watching this, he's going to be there. Get your popcorn ready.
Yes.
and
Yes,
maybe
sir.
leave your quarterbacks on the bench because he's coming.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That being said, you went Division II, Glenville. What are some misconceptions about? I know because I played Division II like yourself, but for the world and those who don't know, they're like, well, Glenville State. I never heard of this. What are some misconceptions about Division II college football in Glenville State?
Oh yeah, I could definitely tell you something about that. So, a lot of people and a lot of kids, especially now, they got this like idea that it's D1 or nothing, like it's D1 or bust. I'll tell you right now, from me playing at the highest JUCO and playing at D1 level, there's better people in D2 than the people at D1. Like I'll tell you that right now, no lie. There's some better D2 players than there's D1. All that division and all that stuff is like cool and all. I think the main difference is, like, in my opinion, the only difference is the size up front. Other than that, like, everything else is pretty much an even playing field. Like, there you will find any type of baller in D2 that can ball anywhere just like a D1 player can. And you see it all the time. Like, you see Adam Thielen. Like, he's one of the best receivers in the league. He's a known receiver in the league. He's a D2 player. Yeah. Kenny Moore, the best slot corner in football. He's a D2 player out of Valdosta. Like, there's D2 players that make it out. Brent Grimes is a great cornerback. Played D2 football. Like, Tyreek Hill.
Austin Eckler.
Well, he played D2 too. Tyreek Hill is playing D2 football. Like, there's a bunch of stories. I can keep going on and on. Like, it just goes to show you that, like, if you're good, they will find you. Like, if you're good, you can play anywhere and dominate as long as you're playing and showcasing that. That's what matters. And all the division stuff and all that is, like, it's cool and all. And, like, I know it's money differences, but at the end of the day, ballers are ballers. Also, Kyle Duggar, too. He got drafted in the second round, like, right behind Isaiah Simmons, I believe, or something like that. Like, and he's a dominant starter in the league as a D2 football player, like, coming out of a cause that probably no one else in the league even knows. So,
yeah, absolutely. And we see this every single year of every single draft. Mm-hmm. There's people who go in top 5 who don't work out. You know what I mean? But there's people in the first round every year that they just don't pan out. You know what I mean? We've seen this. I think the Raiders, they cut a first rounder who they drafted like 2 or 3 years ago, right? Like, what happened to development? You know, like, but then you have the guy who's the UDFA, right? You have the guy who's the 7th rounder who played 1 AA or Division II. You know what I mean? Tons of gems like yourself out there. That being said, you have had quite the journey as discussed. Is there anybody who's really helped you out along this journey? Any coaches, mentors, or anything like that?
First, I would like to give thanks to God, because without him, I'm nothing. So, like, God makes everything happen for me. Like, I believe he looks after me no matter what goes on or anything, any type of situation I'm in. He always brings me to the best and brings me out of the worst situations, because without him, I'm nothing. So I always give him the credit. But other than that, I'll say my mom, my sister, and then, like, my closest friends that are always like core friends. They always, like, keep me motivated, keep me going, and always just, like, remind me that, like, I'm special and I can really make something happen by just stay focused and go on the way.
Amen. Amen. And then for NFL teams who are taking a watch in this, and trust me, they do tons of research. They call neighbors up, they check social media, all that. For any NFL teams watching this, and when they watch this, what's one thing or a couple things that you would say to them that help you to stand out from the rest?
Oh yeah, definitely. I know exactly what to tell them. I would tell them that I'm a great football player, and I'm never going to disrespect football. You should pick me up, because I'll never disrespect this game of football. I love football so much, to a point where I'll never disrespect this game. I'm always going to come ready to work, ready to compete, always wanting to compete, and always ready to make plays, and I'm going to do whatever it takes for us to win. So that, rather me playing special teams, me playing D tackle or anywhere, DN, linebacker, corner, safety, I'm going to do whatever it takes for us to win, and just for me to make plays and help us win and play football and just respect the game of ball. So
love it. I love it. Let me ask you, training is obviously, you're getting ready. You got a few bowl games that in different events you're going to be go to showcase yourself to NFL scouts and so forth. What are some different drills that you're doing right now to help take your game to the next level?
Yeah. So as of now, I'm trying to do Like, I'm trying to have a great 40-yard dash, so I'm trying to work on a lot of speed. Also, the 5-10-5 drill to show my lateral quickness and movement. I want to definitely do that too as well to showcase that. And then for most part, I'm going to try to bulk up and then try to get my like solid weight to like 230, 235. So I'm going to be definitely doing in the weight room a lot this off season, trying to definitely get that weight on to be able to just stay and compete and play.
Awesome. Now, your time at Glenville, you guys actually played some really good schools. I was doing a little research. For
Yeah.
those who don't know, what's the biggest rivalry in like what's the team that I try not to use the H word hate?
Yeah.
What's a team you sincerely dislike with all your heart? That's that Glenville State is like they can't stand.
So I only was here for a semester, but from what I'll go off of what I thought the like biggest chippiest games was the Notre Dame game, which they're like the top, they're like the bullies of the conference, I guess. But I wasn't scared of them. My film shows what I did against them, and then
Yeah.
Fairmont too, like because they're closer. A lot of the kids from West Virginia all know each other from this area, Fairmont. So like them two teams, it's a pretty good rivalry, and then obviously Charleston as well. I'll say those three teams are like it's a really good rivalry and good bump between them.
Very nice. And who are some players? You grew up watching the game. Who are some players that you take and model your game after?
My favorite player of all time is Ed Reed, but I'll model my game off of I'll say players like Darius Leonard, Tyrann Mathieu, Derwin James, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Micah Parsons, just like a lot of versatile football players that play a lot of positions on the football field. I definitely model my game after those type of guys because I feel like I can play anywhere around the football field too. And I look up to Tyrann Mathieu not only on the football field but off the football field because of the things he's overcome as a man and how he just became a leader over time and things he's learned. I definitely look at him like through that. I'm definitely one of my favorite players in the league.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, man. Because Tyrann Mathieu, I mean, at one point, I don't know all specifics. He got in trouble with the law and stuff like that. He turned it around and literally, I think he became a 3rd or 4th round draft pick. He literally could have been a top 12 draft pick in that draft. I remember very vividly. And he's turned into a model NFL player. And it just goes to show you, like, okay, people make mistakes, but people can correct those things and go on to accomplish great things in life for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you, game day music in the football world, they oftentimes they collide, they come together, and they go quite well, like good sauce on a dish. What do you have in your headphones on game day?
Yeah. So I'll put like besides the mainstream rappers, I usually listen to like my friends for real. Like I'll listen to my man Daquan. I listen to my man Kendall. I listen to like a lot of my rappers from home that I know that like really motivate me. I really know that they watching me ball and play. So I'll play them. But as for like the people, like the notable rappers, I'll listen to like No Cap, Shy Glizzy, who else? Babyface Ray, like put Young Boy, all those types of. I'll listen to all of them too as well. But for the most part, I'll be listening to a lot of my local Maryland rappers, my friends, for the most part.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Man, I want to thank you so much for taking and coming on the show. Before you say you go, what was your aha moment where you realized, like, man, I want to be a professional football player one day?
I'll probably say, man, like being able to watch like players like buy their moms a house, stuff like that. Like I'll say that's like one of my biggest aha moments because like I really want to do that for my mother. Like she's done everything for me. She done broke her back and gone through hell for me to help me like get where I'm at. So like I would love to reward her with that type of thing. Like just be able to change my family's life. I've always been able to just wanted to be able to help my people all the time. I always been wanting to do that. So that's one of the biggest aha moments I'll probably say I've seen.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And you realize, like, hey, I'm really good at football, and I can use this to not elevate myself, but elevate my people all around me.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, Bob, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I feel inspired, man. I feel like I'm ready to run through a wall for you, man. Like, I love your story, and NFL teams are going to love your story. Fans are going to love your story. When draft day comes, I know God has a plan for you, man, and great things are going to definitely take and come your way. Before we wrap up the interview, any shout outs?
Just shout out all the men back home, man. Like, I love y'all. Keep just supporting me, man. I'm gonna try to make it for all of us, man. Put us on. Shout out Germantown, Maryland, man. That's where I'm from. That's what I'm repping for real. So yeah, just shout out the crib, man. Shout out the crib.
Amen. Amen. There you have it, folks. We have Bob JONJO Jr. That's his interview. That's his show. Let me know what you think. And also as well, go down below in the description. I'm going to have all of his social media stuff down below. So you don't even have to look it up yourself. You just go down below in the description. Go ahead, follow the story. Click play, get inspired. Hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel to grow. Y'all have a blessed night.
Yes, sir. That subscribe button.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.